How's it going, everybody? Um, just wanted to touch base with you guys. I've never done something like this before, but something in my life has happened and has kind of pushed me in this direction. Um, I I recently saw a video of a friend of mine that was talking about making some extra income on the side. She was a very busy person, working a full-time job and owning her own business, and didn't really have too much more time to give up to make some more money. And anyway, so I watched her video and then was really intrigued, and the wheel started spinning, and I wanted to find out what it was all about. Many of you guys know me. I work full time. I work a lot of overtime. I'm also involved in many things outside of work. One of those being finishing my degree to move up further in the company that I work at. I love my job, 100%. But you always make ends meet, and sometimes you want a little more. At least for me, I do. And I'd love to keep pushing forward and finding new things to keep me moving in the right direction. And I believe I found one of those things. I don't really have too much spare time to give up, but the thought of giving a little bit of time and a little bit of an investment to purchasing my own little thing to get me off in the right direction. I could always look into opening up my own business. I could always take out a loan, start up a business, things like that. But I don't really have that extra kind of money, and I found something I believe that will take me to that next step. And I'm going to bring on a friend of mine that I've met through this process and this opportunity, and he's going to share a little bit more about what I'm talking about. What's up, Greg?
I couldn't hear you when you were talking.
You got to be kidding
There you
me.
go.
We just,
Now
there we go.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we got it. So,
Right on.
yeah, man, this is, I was first want to say welcome to the team. This is something that you're totally new. You have no experience in this industry at all. And I think that's awesome. I don't have to retrain your mind from one company to another.
No, not at all.
So let me give you a little intro. Thanks for introducing me to your network, and I'll let them know what it is that we're doing. And for those that don't know me, and I'm sure nobody on here. Well, I see some of our partners joining. Oh, excuse me. My name is Greg. I live in Connecticut. I am a network marketing professional. I've been in this industry for over 7 years. I'm in my 8th year now. I'm a 7-figure earner from a previous company that we left and came to a new, bigger opportunity. And, before you get nervous about the word network marketing, let me break it down a little bit for you guys and exactly what it is that we do. What it is we're building a cash flow asset, and I'll get into our opportunity in a minute, but I just want to relate to everybody what this is, there's there's 4 types of people that make up the world of business. And most people, such as yourself, Shane, you're an employee. Am I not mistaken? Right? You're an employee,
No, that's right.
and that's great. I was an employee for many years. My wife, most people are. As a matter of fact, 85% of the population are employees. And that's what we're taught to do. That's what we're trained to do. We're trained to go to school, go to college, get a job, work for somebody, work for 45 years, retire, collect a pension and 401, if companies still even have pensions anymore. But that's kind of the poor way of thinking. And this isn't that I'm talking that it's the poor way. It's just a mentality thing. So you have security, but you lack freedom. As you said, you don't have a lot of spare time, and you have some security. They can let you go at the drop of a hat if they needed to, and you get taxed at the highest tax bracket there, up to 50%, depending on where you live. So you're trading hours for dollars. You go in, you work a certain amount of hours, you get paid. Am I right?
Exactly.
So what you've decided to do, and I commend you for doing it, is you're taking control and you're doing something that is a little bit of swimming upstream, but I can tell you that what you're about to do can literally change your life in just a short amount of time. And what I mean by a short amount of time, I mean a year or two. This isn't you jump in and you're making a ton of money. So when people gradually want to do something, they go into business by themselves. And you already mentioned that, like you could take out a loan and you could start a business, and that brings you into the S quadrant, which is self-employment, right? So self-employment, you could take out a massive loan and start a business, right? And then have to pay back that loan before you can actually make money, and then you would have, employees, possibly a brick and mortar, you'd have overhead, you'd have a lot of expenses, rent probably, well, not rent, if you bought the place, right? You have the mortgage on it. That's stressful, dude. And you don't really know if your business is going to succeed or not. Right. So it's
Right.
a lot of risk to put out there, and essentially when you do something like that as a self-employed, you really can't take time off. You are going to be the system, right? Remember, people make money, systems create wealth. Right. So as a sole proprietor, self-starter, whatever you want to call it, you can't take 3 to 6 months off, especially laying out all that cash. The last thing you want to do is take time off because you want to make that money back, right? So you can start turning a profit, right? So, the good thing is you may have more time, right? You may have more time, but again, you're still working for money. You bought yourself a job essentially when you take that route. But on the good side is you have pride of ownership. There's something to be said about working for yourself, owning something like that. I think it's fantastic. And then you have the business quadrant, which is where now we switch to the rich side of thinking. All right, we've just talked about the poor side, and this is just a mentality thing. I'm not saying people are poor over there or anything. It's just a thought process. It's all it is.
Right.
The rich people think like this. They find and look for networks and build networks. Most people look for a job. So when you get into what's called the B quadrant, that is where the Richard Bransons live. That's where the Warren Buffetts live. That's where the Oprahs live. That's where big businesses live. Forbes says to be qualified as a big business, you have to have 500 minimum employees and invest $25 million. Right. So this is where most people want to be. They want to be there in that quadrant. But you can never get there if you're an employee in a self-employed, because you just don't have that extra money, and nobody's got $25 million to get there and build something like that. And who the hell wants 500 employees? That's like adult daycare, right? And honestly, only what is it? 8% of the population lives there. I think it's like 3%. But that's where the financially tough are. That's where the sharks live. That's where, but that's where people want to be, right? So the last quadrant is investments, and that's like the ultimate goal. Your money's working harder than you can. You're no longer working for a living, right? And I'm going to end it at that because only 1% of the population lives there. But if we go back to the B quadrant and compare it with the E quadrant, the first one I started with, the employees, the B quadrant, they hire the best of the E to work for them. That's their system, right? The E quadrant, their worst fear is losing their job. The B quadrant, their worst fear is having to get a job. That's the difference in mindset. What are they using? They're utilizing people as their systems, banks, and money, right? A CEO can take time off. They can take, a month off, 2-3 months off, and it's still making money for them because they have their people working for them. They come in, they punch that clock, they do their thing, and then they leave, right? That's the system, utilizing people. This is exciting stuff, isn't it? So, and I'm just trying to educate your audience a little bit. And so where does this all come in, right? What does this come in? So for a very small to none barrier to entry, you started a network marketing company, right? A network marketing business. So what you're doing is you are actually utilizing a fulfillment center. You're utilizing a fulfillment center, and you're utilizing people, and you're utilizing a team. What is that? That's a system, right? You're now using a system. Actually, not yet. You're about to. You just started.
Yes.
So you're plugging in. You're seeing some amazing stuff, right? So remember, people make money. Systems create wealth. You cannot get wealthy by just working hours for dollars. You're never going to do it. You have a job, just over broke, right? That's what it stands for. It's kind of a joke, right? So utilizing a fulfillment center, now you own a business. You own a business that can literally become something massive on a global scale. And what you have very low barrier to entry. You have no overhead. You have no employees. You have no legal, no customer service, no headaches, no brick and mortar, no trucks, delivery, nothing. The fulfillment center that we utilize, they're doing everything that we don't want to do as business owners, right? They're taking care of all of that. What are you doing? You are being your own best customer using your products that are bettering your health, right? And then you are finding people, small business owners, entrepreneurs that understand that, hey, I can invest a small amount of money and build a large business as opposed to doing it the old-fashioned way. And then you teach them to merchandise a little bit of product. And what I mean by that, if I go for a mountain bike ride with somebody and their elbow's sore, their knee is sore, here, I got this product called Renew. It took the arthritis pain out of my wrist. Here, give it a shot. Right?
Yep.
You do that a couple times a year. And then you show people how to do 1 and 2. Right? You show people how to do 1 and 2. And what happens is, in this particular business model, we're stacking networks on top of each other, right? So I shared my network with Michelle. Michelle shared her network with you, right? We're stacking networks. And then as you start bringing people in, we're going to be sharing our networks with them. They're going to be sharing our networks with us, their networks with us. And over a period of time, you have a system put in place. And a great analogy is, if you get in a boat, like let's say you got a canoe, right? And you want to go across the lake. So you're going to look for the best vehicle to do that without using a motor. You're probably going to get a crew boat because they're real streamlined, right? Meant to go really fast with less resistance. So you got a great vehicle, right? So you pop yourself in that, and now it's you solo. Now, if you go from A to B, you're going to go pretty good, right? So then let's bring the boat back. Now let's get in it. Hey, Charles, and then let's pop 25 people in there with you. How much faster are you going to get to your goal? Right.
Right.
It's gonna go a lot faster. The same end result, but you're getting there quicker. Your end result is to create a passive income that is bringing in cash without you having to work 15 hours a day, something that will work for you 24/7 and make money while you're sleeping or when you go out to eat. I went out to eat 2 nights ago with my family. I came back home. I had 2 rank advancements for myself. When I rank advance, I make more money. So that's the goal. That's the good way to make money. That's
exciting.
It is. That's the rich way to make money. And that's what's attractive to a lot of people. But a lot of people don't understand that to earn the kind of income. So, what we're doing is with our business model, we start in the self-employed quadrant. But what it can do over time is get us into that B quadrant, that big quadrant where the big players play, where the 200, where the 25 million is invested, but we only invest, a couple hundred to about $1,600, right? And then we get into that quadrant because we're utilizing people and a fulfillment center. That's our system, right? We're no longer working for dollars. We're investing time for money. And that's a big difference. That's a big difference. But what people need to understand is when you come in and you bring 2 people in, they bring 2 people in, you just duplicated yourself 4 times, right? So now if you're putting 5 hours a week into your business and those 4 are each doing 5, that's 25 hours put into your business and you're only doing 5. Right? Now let's fast forward a year and a half from now when you have 4,000 underneath you. What does that look like?
Some good stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's through leadership, and you're going to grow yourself as a person. You're going to grow yourself as a leader, and you're going to do things you never thought possible 3-4 months from now, a year
Yeah.
from now, 2 years from now. This is something that, again, 8 years, I'm in my 8th year in this business, and it's something that, man, I know, so our leader in his last company, he built an $18 million a year business, right? Spending $300 a month on products that he was using himself, right? Mm-hmm. So in order to generate that kind of income, you're spending $200,000 a month, in a traditional business sense, because then you got trucks, you got a traditional
overhead
business model. Yeah. Robert Kiyosaki, grandfather of finance, right? If he had to do it all over again, he would do a network marketing business as opposed to a traditional business model. And I can go on and on about how this industry, it's almost a $200 billion a year industry. Hey Rob, long time no see, dude. It's a $186 billion industry, right? It pays almost $7 million a month and $250,000 a day in commissions. Right? There's 21 million people getting involved in it this year in America. It's not going away, man. It's more businesses are becoming like this model. Let me give you some examples.
Yeah, these are impressive.
Ever heard of Uber? Right? Now, Uber has become more like network marketing, an invisible franchise, right? They don't own any cars. They don't own any vehicles. They own a freaking app. They own an app. And what they've done is they have an app, and they've provided a business opportunity for people to create a second or third income stream, right? Let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon is going to be the first $1 trillion company, right, in America. They have created a business on a massive scale. Not only have they changed the way people do business online, due to them, 25%, the top 25 largest retailers in America have either gone out or scaled down by 50%. Look at Sears, look at Toys R Us, right? Kmart, what they've done is they've made an online business selling other products for other people, selling other manufacturers' products. I think they manufacture just a little bit for themselves, but primarily they started with books, right? So we're taking the best of Amazon and the best of Uber. How? We are selling goods, utilizing a fulfillment center, right? And providing a business opportunity like Uber. That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right? Uber's like the best disruption in the world. Like what they did is incredible. I mean, you even call for a cab differently, right? And you watch it on the freaking app. You know exactly where it is. It's coming here. It's 2 minutes away. Like, it's awesome.
I just saw a kiosk set up in the mall.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? So when you take that and then you look at another model, you look at Airbnb. Same thing, man. They don't own any real estate. They don't own any hotels. They don't own anything. Right? I think it's an app. I don't know. I've never used an Airbnb yet, but friends have, and it's great, right? They don't own anything. These are businesses. Businesses is changing, in the 21st century. It is absolutely changing. Another disruptor would be, you could go to look at Disney. Look what they did, right? People laughed at Walt Disney when he wanted to do what he was going to do. And I mean, now look at him, So businesses are changing, man. It's definitely, I think, a great time to be alive and a great time to utilize the internet and the connection and what you can do from your phone to build a business. And I am pumped. Not only I'm pumped, but you and I have never met except for right now. And when we did our 3-way call coming in, and I love it that you're a guy. We have a lot of guys joining our team, unlike where I used to be. It was all women. So for me, this is great, and I'm excited to work with you and get you going and showing you, the power of building a cash flow asset that will provide you income that you can later pay off debt or invest in another cash flow asset like real estate. Because that's what this team teaches, right? So our leaders, we have two leaders. One of them's been in the industry for 15 years. The other one's been or 14. The other one's been in the industry for 30. You know, that's some experience. So you've teamed up with a team that's already backed leader by leader. You know, me, six-figure earner, actually seven-figure earner. Then I have my sponsor who's a 6. Her sponsor's a 6. Her sponsor's a 6. Her sponsor's a 7. His sponsor's an 8. So crazy leadership with years and years of experience. Which is great for somebody like you who doesn't have a freaking clue what you're doing, because you're going to learn a lot quicker. Yeah, you know, you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself, right? You already see the teamwork that's moving on. What we did over the weekend with all the leaders stepping up to do a Zoom call presentation on the hour, every hour, it was like clockwork, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what you're going to do, and I'm really thrilled to get you going. So if anybody's in this, you know, knows Shane and is in his circle and wants to know more about what it is we're doing, reach out and we'll have a conversation. Just to let your network know, we're in a company that's 22 months old. We broke an industry record of 49 million in sales the first 11 months with only 5 products. Now we have 8, and we have 3 more coming next year. One of them may or may not be a CBD product. And, you know, we are now debt free. We've paid off all our investors, and we're now a $100 million company, just 22 months old. We utilize liposome. Yeah, we provide solutions using liposome technology that allows our products to get a 90% absorption rate. I know you're pumped. I'm pumped. We have a great 2019 ahead of us. And, yeah, so anybody that's watching, get a hold of Shane and we'll just have a conversation and present you for some information. It may or may not be for you, and that's okay. You may know somebody that it's for.
Exactly.
Right? Anything else you want to add, buddy? I know I did most of the talking.
Yeah, no, you pretty much touched everything. You know, the one thing that I really was drawn to too is the business approach. You know, it's not really, you're not pushing. It's more of a knowledge-based.
Yeah.
You want everybody that comes in to learn, you know, and I think that's pretty cool.
Without knowledge in this industry, you're very vulnerable. You know, I see a lot of people join companies because, their friends in, or, you know, they just don't take it seriously, you know, and that's not how you do it, man. If you treat this like a hobby, it'll cost you money. If you treat it like a business, you can make money, and a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what you're going to do. I really am. I love new people coming in the industry. It's gret. It's great.
When you get your first check, you're teachable, like, man.
When you get your first check, you're like, oh shit, it works. I can't wait. Yeah. So that's it. I don't have anything else to say. And if you're good, let's get your business rolling.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate the time.
All right, Shane. Anytime. I work for you, brother.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.